What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing something I'm pretty excited about. The first, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I put amp steps on already, but one of the first, I guess, difference maker mods to the truck is what's sitting behind me. Um, I have a similar setup. Well, I have a setup from them on the Bronco, but what we're doing today is we're going to install the Flowmaster full catback exhaust. This is their signature series. I haven't seen like any videos out there on 23 14th gen F150s running the signature series on the 5.0. So the difference in the signature series is everything is 304 stainless, and after it's all bent and formed, it's then brushed. So the finish on it is supposed to be spectacular. And truthfully, I've already opened the box and checked it out, and it's amazing. So, read through the directions pretty quickly. One thing I saw that it recommended is to cut the tailpipe over the axle. I am going to try to separate it and pull it out in pieces because I like selling things I take off the truck. So I'm going to hopefully pull it off in pieces so somebody can install it on their truck if they put on an aftermarket exhaust, maybe not liked it. I don't know. But that's my goal, is to pull it off in two pieces, front tube, back to muffler, and over the axle. Looks like what I'm going to need for that is a 13 mil and a 15 mil. 13 mil for the flange up front out of the cat or by the cats, and then a 15 mil for the clamp by the muffler. I also picked up a Gear Wrench brand off Amazon exhaust pipe cutter, because on a crew cab long bed you do have to cut one of the expansion tubes, or one of the extension tubes, 6 inches. I have a Sawzall. I just really want to make a clean cut. It's not recommended to use on stainless, but I'm hoping I can get one cut out of it. And then I also picked up some exhaust hanger pliers. So what pushes the clamp, or whatever you want to call it, the little peg stud thing, out of the hangers. Just hopefully to make the job easier. So let's check out what we have in the box behind me, and then we will get into ripping off the factory exhaust and throwing this one on. So as I mentioned, full 304 stainless from Flowmaster. I have a full Flowmaster setup on my Bronco, high flow cats, etc. But this one, obviously, look at this. I mean, that's your tailpipe. It does have a tip for it, but I mean, it is, truthfully, it's flawless. It is absolutely freaking gorgeous. So there's your tailpipe. Here's your extension pipe. Again, it is, I mean, there's a few small scratches on it, probably from shipping, but my God, it's beautiful. And then here's your other pipe with the flange. This goes to your cat, or to your Y pipe, whatever, to the collector. We've got the muffler, which again, full stainless. It is a flow-through design, and the welds on this are are gorgeous. I mean, check that out. It says Flowmaster Signature Series in it. Really excited about that. Let me get this off to the side right now. And then last but not least, obviously we got the hangers in here and all that, but also the tip. And this is a black chrome tip with Flowmaster in it. Gonna look really nice on my Sport Series. Keep everything kind of chrome free. So really excited about this setup. Can't wait to hear how it sounds. And we're gonna start pulling off the factory one. So we'll get underneath there, start pulling clamps, and then see what we can do to break this thing free, so that I can take it off, hopefully without cutting it. All right, so now that we're underneath here, there's your muffler. I'm staring toward the back of the truck here. that's a clamp that's going to take a 15 mil. So you should be able to pull that off. I believe that's the only clamp on this. And then as you look toward the front, we've got your collector there, and flange. Those are two bolts that take 13 mils on there. Since I am used to working on old trucks, I've already soaked everything in WD-40, just hoping it comes apart easier. It is only 2 years old, so it probably isn't necessary, but we're going to do it anyway. So let me get underneath here with the 15 and pull that off first, and then move up front and pull off the two 13s. All right, so underneath here, hoping I can fit my impact on here just to make it easier if I can. And let's rip it off. All right, now let's get up front and get the two 13 mils off. There we go. Came off like a charm. There is everything we're going to need to pull. Now it's going to be trying to separate this stuff from each other, which I think is going to be tough, but we're going to give it a shot. All right. So now with everything being loose in theory, and I can feel it wiggle, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to actually get it. Actually broke free, so I'm going to try to get two big pliers on this to twist it and hopefully start being able to pull it out. I think I have pliers big enough. Spoiler alert, I don't have pliers big enough. So what I'm trying to do here is there's actually a keyway on the top of this. I'm trying to get this to spin so I can then twist and slide this off. It's got about ½ inch to go at most. So I'm just trying to use this clamp to use leverage on it and spin it and hopefully get it so I can pull these two apart. Woo! All right. Well, the back end's completely undone now. All right, it's disconnected. Not the easiest, not the cleanest, but I didn't want to cut that. So now I gotta see if I can snake. Now I gotta see if I can snake this the tailpipe out over the axle and through. If I can, that's a huge win. All right, so I got the rear end supported on actually, I mean it's supported by the hitch right now with two jack stands. I think I'll have enough room now to snake this out. All right, so I got everything out now. We've got full tailpipe and muffler out, and then the resonator and collector up there. All out, none damaged. If I want to sell it, I can sell it. So ready to go there. Next step is to start getting this Flowmaster set prepped. I think I got to cut one of the extension pipes, so let me do some reading on that and figure out what we need to do, and then we'll start knocking it out. All right, so yeah, the first step on mine is to trim this extension pipe. A lot of them don't need trimming, but since mine's a 157-inch crew cab, 6.5 foot bed, we've got to trim this 6 inches. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, I did buy this gear wrench tailpipe cutter, exhaust tailpipe cutter. It specifically says not for stainless, but it also has a lifetime warranty. So let's use it for stainless and see what happens. First thing, let's just measure out 6 inches from the non-flange side, and we're gonna measure around. We're gonna mark around it, and make sure we get a straight cut here. That's the whole reason I bought this tailpipe cutter instead of a just using my Sawzall. Well, don't buy the gear wrench tool. I took out the Sawzall and cut it. It went super quick. I was wasting too much time trying to make it work and make it super, super clean. It's a great cut with the Sawzall. So this pipe's cut. Now I gotta get into figuring out what all goes together. I think it's just, excuse me, flange to the long pipe, then this, then muffler. Should be really straightforward, but let me make sure I have it all right before I start throwing it under the truck. All right, now that we have all of your hardware with some anti-seize on it and all over your hands and face and feet and everything in the world, because anti-seize is that way, we can move on to under the truck. We're gonna put on the long pipe with the flange, and then we're gonna orient. Here, I'll show you. Maybe you didn't notice, or maybe you did. There's a bend in it, and we want the bend facing down. All right, so we're gonna get underneath there and knock that out. All right, so now we're back underneath. There are 2 nuts welded to the back of this collector, so you won't need to hold both sides to get the bolts through. I am gonna make a complete and god-awful mess here using some more anti-seize on these bolts. And that's gonna, I'm sure, be one of the messiest pieces. Again, we're just putting this on, this pipe on, just snug. We're not tightening it up. We're just loose fitting everything here. And a note, the flange that Flowmaster includes has a beveled side. The beveled side goes obviously toward the collector. Now I'm going to try not to get anti-seize everywhere on me and on the truck. It's a little more than snug, but either way, that's going to be your rough entry, roughly how that's going to go. I probably should loosen it up a hair. Maybe not that much. All right, that should be close. I can still finagle it pretty good. It's fitting on there really nicely. And I'll show you how that's setting right now. So as you see, we got the flange on there, both bolts going through. It's nice and flush and square. And then the bend comes down and the pipe goes all the way through. I believe that's the way it goes. It says the bend down. Again, that's down, but you never know if I'm just misinterpreting. Now we'll get the expansion tube back there, I believe, and then to the muffler. All right, so I've got extension pipe clamped and snug. I've got hanger snug into my factory hanger here. It's all just rotated and snugged in, hoping it's pretty close. Next up is putting the muffler on. I've got the muffler out on my Z Creeper, and I'm gonna get that set and clamped in right there. I have both clamps already on it, so it should just slide right in and be ready to go. I'm just gonna put it right like that. I got Flowmaster sitting down just like I want it to look. And then I think next is we're gonna actually put on the tailpipe, get that all routed and hung so that we can get this then, you know, mocked up perfectly. And then we'll start tightening down these clamps on the muffler, make sure distance is all right as it routes through. All right, so I did just route the tailpipe, just draped it over the rear axle. Gonna try to get this all lined up, slid in. All right, so rear hanger is completely seated. Front one's halfway, which means I need to start sliding this exhaust back to get it to fully line up because it is not fully aligned here. So I've got to slide some stuff back to get it to get full contact. It looks like I've got full contact now on this, which I'll just have to run all the way on, and I'm checking all my other ones. All hangers appear to be fully seated. Hey, so completely unrelated to the exhaust. Well, I guess it's completely related, but I picked up some of this goop. It's just their goop hand cleaner. They're made in St. Louis, which is why I picked it up. But this stuff, I don't know, it completely cleaned my hands. All the grime and all of the anti-seize that was on it, which is saying something. I'm not sponsored by them. I have nothing involved with them, but this stuff's pretty cool. It's just like a paste. You rub it on your hands and you wipe it off with a towel or with water. I don't know. Anyway, pretty excited about this. Comes in a cool little metal tin. I think it's some collector's edition or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Recyclable tin. Anyway, really cool stuff. Check them out, guys. I was incredibly impressed. Didn't even go inside to wash my hands and just came right off. All right, so anyway, that's how we're sitting right now. Everything's fully, well, except the front. I don't have the front secured in. I want to make sure this tip fits as I want it to, and then I'm going to tighten up the front, and then we're going to fire it up. I am so intrigued to see how this thing sounds. So let's get this tip on. Again, this tip is a really, really pretty black chrome. And that is going to look money on it. Absolute money sitting right like that. That is exactly what I want. Sitting there flush with the body side. All right, guys, let's see what it sounds like. That's obviously high idle at like 1200 or so. Man, that sounds really good. That 5.0 is breathing, man. Now it's going down to low idle. Oh, that sounds wonderful at that. Oh my God, at standard idle. That sounds so good. Really nice and quiet. I am excited to get out and drive this thing. Let me clean up and then we'll get out and drive it. All right, so in the truck now, just sitting here at idle at 700 RPM. I don't know if you can hear it or not. There is an audible tone. You can hear the tone, but sounds great. Let's get it out. So far, I mean, fit and finish of this kit is second to none. I am very impressed with it. Tone sounds really, really nice. It's not overly loud, I wouldn't say. And I think if anyone thought it was overly loud, you could easily put a resonator in there and probably pull some of that out. But it seems to sound really, really nice coming out the rear of the truck there. So you don't have, sorry, I'm getting the AC on, I'm a little hot. You don't have like a drone or anything, it doesn't seem like. So let's get it out of the neighborhood and we'll open it up a bit. All right, let's get here on the highway. That's just over 4,000 RPM there. Running 65 under throttle in 6th gear. Now we're at 70. Let's get to cruising, okay? So I'm coming up a hill right now, so it's a little, we're still under load, I'd say, but that's 65 at 1500 RPM. Honestly, you can't even tell. Turn off the AC. You can barely hear it. By no means would I say that would be annoying. I don't even think my wife would notice it. And same here. Now it's 70 cruising. Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, that's a really well done exhaust. I would never say there's any drone. There is an exhaust note, but it is very, very faint, and sounds really, really nice. And I haven't noticed anything with cylinder deactivation that a lot of people talk about. Yeah, I don't hear it at all. This is really nice. I'm really, really impressed with this. So install went really, really nicely, guys. I did pull a hanger and actually break a few clips from a factory hanger because I thought it was in the wrong spot. And that's when I came and said, hey, you need to put if you have a 157 inch like me, you have to put your hanger on the extension tube, not on the long tube with the flange. I think I missed it in the directions. Cut that 6 inches off. Use a Sawzall. Don't use a gear wrench. Cut off. It's stainless. It's not made for it. That's not the tool's fault. That's my fault. So, hey, this has gone together really nice. I'm really impressed with the finish of it. The sound is super nice, and I'm happy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and these new truck projects. I will see you again next week.